What's up everybody, this is Igor in Russia and I'm a foreigner traveling to Russia and filming this beautiful and the greatest city in the world extensively, and also Russia in general. In this video I'm going to be telling you the ultimate guide to traveling to Russia, St. Petersburg and Moscow, which are definitely the best starting points for most of y'all. In this video, guys, you're going to hear all the basic information that you need to know about traveling to Russia. That's about border control, that's entering the border customs, it's about exchanging money, bank, accommodation, even some traveling tips while you're in Russia. By using these tips that I've given you guys, you are able to maximize your trip worth and of course the pleasure of traveling in Russia. So pay attention. I've also added some timestamps for you to easily to find what you need in case you don't need to hear it all. So this is the ultimate guide to traveling to Russia, and notice as of recording this, there are certain sanctions, there are certain restrictions concerning traveling to Russia, traveling Russia in general. So pay attention. Situation might change. All right, starting off with a visa, guys. So in order to enter Russia, most of us, like me, we need a visa to do so. Approximately 50 countries are able to get the e-visa, which is basically free one. But of course, there's a certain administrational fee, which is around like $40. So basically free e-visa. With that e-visa you are able to travel to Russia during the 30 days for 15 days, or was it 16 days, something like that. That's one entrance only. After that you must get out and hopefully come back, of course. There's also different types of visas, but that's more specific situations like study visa, work visa, etc. If you're not applicable to the e-visa, you must get the traditional visa from your possibly from your embassy or consulate, Russian consulate at your nearest city. This next phase I'm going to be telling you how to enter Russia, which is the best ways. Notice I have separate videos made about a lot of different border crossings. Finland when it was open, Estonia, and different ways to enter it. Also, I'm going to link all the videos in the description for more specific detailed version. But in this video, listen, if you're traveling from the west, the most convenient way to travel to Russia is currently through Estonian border, Narva. That's a good thing and that's a bad thing because it's pretty intense. So if you arrive into Tallinn, you have few choices. You either take the for example Eka lines or Lux Express, which goes directly to St. Petersburg, except that you must go out of the bus and cross the bridge, the border bridge, as a pedestrian, and then you continue from the Russian side with the same company's bus, but you must get off in the middle. Or you can travel by from Tallinn by train to Narva, go to border crossing, then cross the bridge, and then take the Russian Skyline minibus. And very often this is more faster option, and also as a minimum it's way cheaper. So the prices are around like 40 to 47 euros from Tallinn to St. Petersburg on this bus. If you travel separately to Narva and then you go to take that minibus, it's going to cost you like around $25. That's what it's all about. Pretty decent, but of course in hours it's gonna take you much more than it used to, because the border at Narva is very packed on both sides most of the times. So if you travel from Tallinn, it's gonna take you maybe like let's say 15 hours altogether. If it goes under it, well, you just be happy and thank God. Notice also that Narva border is closed for the night, starting off 1st of May 2024. And that means it's open from 7 a.m. till 11 on the Estonian side, and automatically on the Russian sides because of the Estonian borders decisions. The other way is to travel overnight to from let's say St. Petersburg or Tallinn, but it goes through Luhamaa. That's a little bit more southern border crossing, and it goes via Pskov in that case and arrives in the morning or during the day. But these shifts are usually very rare. Maximum is one shift per day. But notice there's also rumors that they're planning to close that border for the night and totally close it for pedestrians. So things might change rapidly, unfortunately, for the worse because of these crazy times we're living. Other way to travel to is St. Petersburg or Moscow, or of course Kaliningrad, is by flying. You can fly from Istanbul, mainly from Istanbul, let's say, but there's also other places from Arabic countries or like Asian. But let's say if you're flying from the west, Istanbul is the best option. The other choice is to travel by bus to Kaliningrad and fly over to St. Petersburg and Moscow. That's the other choice. And that's actually the tickets at the cheapest is like maybe around $100 from Kaliningrad to Moscow or St. Petersburg. If you travel into Kaliningrad first and flying from there to Moscow, St. Petersburg, you have to travel from Poland, which is not necessarily the best option. It takes quite a long time, or go from Vilnius, which is much closer. Around 9 hours traveling time from Lithuanian capital to Kaliningrad. I get a lot of comments from tourists that when sometimes they travel to Helsinki, from Helsinki to Tallinn, starting that journey then to Russia. Very often I hear that the border customs of these unfriendly countries actually try to scare them or, talk bad about their possible future in Russia. Don't mind them at all. That's totally, quite frankly, because I've heard stories that they try to tell you that you're gonna be conscripted to the Russian army, sent to the front, sent to gulags, all that bullshit. Don't worry, everybody who's come to Russia have said that this is the best place. It's nothing like they've expected. So just travel to Russia and see it for yourself and enjoy the culture like you should enjoy like in any country, no matter what politics. And also Russia is probably the safest country for you as a traveler and you as a foreigner compared to any place elsewhere, especially, by the way, Europe. I gotta say that. So during this situation right now, there's a certain sanctions put in place, which means that you cannot bring officially euros from Europe into Russia. Whoa. So officially, you cannot bring euros from European Union into Russia because of sanctions. Most of the times, if you have a Schengen passport, EU passport, then you can go actually through the biometric gates, which is way faster. Usually they don't ask you, but if they do, you must actually, if they find that money, you must go back to outside the border crossing and exchange on the Narva side. But otherwise, if you do carry that money into Russia, which I kind of must not recommend, then I'm gonna tell you in the other phase about exchanging money with the best currency in St. Petersburg, for example, and in Russia in general. Euros is forbidden. You can exchange them in Narva or in St. Petersburg, and you should actually have a little bit of money on you just in case for exchanging. As soon as you come to Russia, you should have, like, let's say $50 exchanged into rubles. Russian side is actually Russians, they let that money in, but you must report if you bring over 10,000 euros or dollars, which I doubt you are, but some people actually do. So notice that money you must inform, and I don't know, is there some kind of a taxation or what? Not sure what then happens. Somebody give me that kind of amount of money and I will make a video about it. So another thing that you cannot bring during the sanctions right now from the western side is drones, for example. If you like to film, beautiful cities of Russia or nature, a drone that is over 500 grams actually should be checked by the Russian border. for their safety reasons. And get yourself a SIM card, TELE2, Tele2, or Beeline, or Megaphone. SIM card which only uses internet, it might have some other services as well, but it's approximately, it should cost you max like 500 rubles, which is a bit on top. So alright, $5 for basically unlimited internet for a full month. Then what else? After that, when you have a SIM card and a telephone number, you can go to, I would prefer you go to Sberbank and get yourself a Mir card. This Mir card is gonna get you places. It's gonna make your life so much easier during your stay. If you're there for, let's say, even 5 days, or plan to come back sooner or later, make sure you have this do this bank card thing. You're gonna thank me, and everybody has been thanking me, so it's gonna help you out. With bank card, you are able to pay, of course, everything. You are able to, when you exchange your money, you are able to put the money, deposit money on your bank account. You are able to pay with card, you are able to withdraw money, and you can able also to make bank transfers, online transfers, which is one of the common payment ways. Even in restaurants, sometimes they will ask you to make a bank transfer, and with an app that the bank will gonna show you how to use, you're gonna be able to do it. So options, and your pleasure will rise. All right, exchanging money. If you brought some money with you, euros or dollars, best way to exchange money with the best rate is usually in a private offices, not Sberbank itself, where you're gonna get your bank from. Banks usually have few rubles weaker currency, and if you exchange in hundreds of rubles, euros or dollars, you're gonna lose a lot of hundreds, thousands rubles, and hundreds already rubles is pretty decent money. In St. Petersburg, you're able to travel through the whole city almost for 600, 500 rubles. For 1,000 rubles, $10, you are able to have a great meal in a pretty okay restaurant, tasty restaurant. So make sure not to lose. Plus, you are able, 100 rubles is a good tip for a musician on the street if you like them or her. So think about it. These exchanging offices I have a video about. There's one in Sennaya, which is very central location. But there's also other ones. You just Google exchanging money, and trust me, most of them, all of them, I would presume, are actually okay. They are safe. I thought first, like, be careful, but nowadays I know. Now I actually know also that these private exchange offices are technically banks themselves. But I was referring to these traditional banks, like Sberbank, for example, which is the biggest bank in Russia. All right, accommodation. Accommodations, you are able to reserve hotels and hostels through ostrovok.ru. The ostrovok.ru, it's also an application, and you are able to usually choose a way to reserve without payment. That's what I do when I'm a tourist in Moscow. In St. Petersburg, I don't need to, because I basically live here. But in Moscow or elsewhere, if I go, you need to reserve, and you can reserve and pay on spot. And sometimes they will, it's gonna say that pay on spot in cash only, or just pay on location. So ostrovok.ru, and you're gonna get yourself a great time. If you want to do like Airbnb, I'm not sure, maybe Ostrovok has those too, but usually they're a little bit tricky. In Russia, hotels do this registration for you, at least they should. But if you're at an Airbnb, which is a privately owned somebody's apartment, this private person is supposed to do this registration. And then it comes to this problem that I've told you about in my videos. Most of them are unofficially doing this business, even renting for somebody like full time. So, you know, they don't want to be making it too official. So it might be a problem for foreigners to get an Airbnb, but it's possible. Some other tips, guys, in Russia. In Russia, you don't drink water from the tap. Buy your water, but the water is usually super cheap. In a normal store or kiosk, it's around 50 cents, half a liter. In a proper grocery store, you're gonna get like for 70, 80, maybe 100 cents. 100 cents, $1. You're gonna get like a 5-liter thing, so no worries. It's very easy, and you can drink those without any safety issues, but don't drink from the tap. But if it gets to your mouth, it's okay if you like, it's not that serious. Since we're in this drinking topic. drinking alcohol in public is forbidden. If you must drink, like I sometimes, you should ask for, like, for example, in Rosal 24 or some kind of a shops for brown paper bag. You must drink from those. But being drunk, too drunk on the streets, that's a no-no. Nobody is like that. Plus, you're gonna get yourself in trouble if you can't hold your liquor. So don't get wasted. In bars, it's okay. And behave. It's important to behave. Also, things not to do in Russia, check the video in the description. Guys, if you want to go to a great food, and we're now in St. Petersburg, this is Peter Paul Fortress. If you want to eat really good and inexpensively, even though even the expensive places for you as a foreigner are probably okay and cheap, but get yourself the best enjoyment and go to some other than super central Nevsky type of restaurants, even though there are also good restaurants there too. But just go somewhere else and go where locals eat. And there's a different centers all around the city. Center is not one place in St. Petersburg, and especially in Moscow. It's scattered all around. So everywhere is great places to eat, great restaurants, chains, etc. And in St. Petersburg, for example, that's the cuisine capital of Russia. So you can taste all kinds of foods, different cuisines, Italian, Korean, Chinese, of course, from Caucasus, Georgian, Armenian, etc. So please do taste a lot of stuff. Pelmenis, Russian food, you must. And proper food in Russia would cost you in a 3 out of 5 price range. A restaurant would cost you, like, let's say, if you would have a drink, have a starter and the main meal, it's gonna cost you maybe 1,000 plus rubles, 10 bucks up to 15. That's totally enough, guys. In Russia, there's also a tipping culture, so you can tip if you want, if you're satisfied with the service. Just for somebody who's just being there for just because she is there, you're not supposed to tip. This is not America. You have to kind of earn it. People are getting salaries, so it's not like a big problem. But if you're happy, sure you can. 5 to 10% or more, that's totally fine. And sometimes they will say we cannot accept, but then they will give you a bank account, and you can do this bank transfer that we were talking about, and it's totally safe and it's instant. In Russia, everything is really fast when it comes to Russia for money. If you're traveling inside Russia, then let's say St. Petersburg, then I'm talking about local smaller cities all around. There's hundreds, like tens and tens of them. You should actually go by public transport or even taxi, but use use trains and etc. And you can go to rzd.ru to see the timetable, or you can use tutu.ru. And that's where you know what kind of a railway station you must leave from, etc. and how long does it take. And you can buy the tickets on spot. But if you're talking about going to Moscow, you should buy tickets in advance for like a week before or even more, because the tickets are sold out almost always. Then you can also fly. Then you can use tutu.ru. It costs 50 to 100 bucks to fly to Moscow, for example. So yes, prices to let's say half an hour trip to, let's say, not Gachina, some other places, historical beautiful towns of St. Petersburg, it costs you there and back around like $2 or less. So these are the price ranges. When you're in St. Petersburg or Moscow, you should use metros as much as you can, and that's an easy one. You should buy just in St. Petersburg you have the special card, Podorozhnik, I think. You can charge money and you can just travel on bus, trams. You can use it everywhere, and metros. Or you can buy separate coins, but don't be old school. So that's a great way. Same thing in Moscow. You can buy from the Moscow metro stations separate cards that give you 1 day unlimited transfer, or 3 days and 5 days. I think that's the different ways to buy the ticket in Moscow. Of course, if you want to travel by taxi, you should download an app called Yandex Go. Then you must put your Russian bank card information in it, and you can use it taxi easily. Just choose locations and you can see how much does it cost. In Russia, in St. Petersburg and Moscow, you don't usually, it's very rare that you can find a taxi standing waiting for somebody. Usually there are so-called dark taxis, fake taxis, overpriced taxis. So you should just use the app and you will see the price, and the car that comes to you will come to you and specifically for you. Don't use dark taxis, not even drunk. Also, e-scooters is a great way to travel. Same thing, just download Whoosh or YouRent or Yandex, I don't know what's the name of it, Yandex scooters. So that's the way to travel also here. It's very cheap and inexpensive. Public transportation is great. If you want to go to museums, and you definitely should go to museums, because St. Petersburg, Moscow, Russia has tons of history and tons of achievements, so you know, you definitely should. You can easily do that online, buy tickets online. Some of them are cheaper than others. Most of them are like around 300 up to 500 rubles. The main ones, big ones, are maybe 1,500 rubles, like State Hermitage or some like Peterhof Palace here in St. Petersburg. The big ones, you know, Catherine Palace, etc. So, and some of them places have to be so popular, like for example today, Menshikov Palace. Menshikov Palace was fully booked online. So do that online. It's easier through kassir.ru, and also kassir.ru is a great place for you to buy tickets in advance for sports events, entertainment events, concerts. And payment, yes, by card information, which is super easy. Sometimes you might get information or notification or a confirmation code to your by SMS as well. So very easy to do everything with your phone, as long as you have the Russian bank cards. Notice, right guys, kassir.ru. There you go, another one. So guys, if you need a private help with your travels to Russia before or during, I have a special service for it. I have a special membership for it. So just become a member in a special membership. Just buy that one. That will grant you an access to me directly to Telegram or WhatsApp, and I will give you all the necessary information beforehand, during, with links, and you know, just be there for you, doing the best thing that I can. So that's also supporting my channel, so make sure to become a member. All right guys, I hope you find this interesting. I hope this is a good ultimate guide for traveling to Russia as a starter kit. Hope you find this interesting, find this helpful, and subscribe to the channel. Become this member if you're traveling to Russia, or if you're not traveling to Russia, just become a member. We have different tiers as well. Thank you so much. This is Igor Russia, your foreigner in Russia, showing you real Russia. Have a great time in Russia. I'm sure you will. Пока-пока.